This is either going to be the best decision that I ever made or the worst, because for the next 30 days, I'm writing a novel with no plan, no outline, no plan, not even a character profile, just 30 days. And honestly, I just really hope I don't come to regret it. So this is gonna put me outside my comfort zone because I'm a hybrid between plotter and pantser. When I write, especially when I did my first debut novel, I like to have somewhat of an outline and of course a character profile. I really love having character profiles with a photo and everything about that character. But for this story, I want to challenge myself to just go by the character instinct. If you watched the video a few weeks back, I did a video with Stephen King trying his routine and seeing how he writes his books. And Stephen King, if you don't know, he is a pantser. He does not use outline at all. And what he does, he asks himself, what if? And also when he's writing, he puts his characters in a situation and relies heavily on the character's personality and the choices that each character would make based on who they are. And that's how he keeps the story going. And I'm going to challenge myself to rely super heavy on my characters and not be using an outline to help me. But anyway, if you're new here, hi, my name is Hannah. And if you love everything from writing to cozy homebody lifestyle and even reading and books, this channel is for you. I'm really excited to make today's video, like this week's video, because I feel like it's been so long since I sat in front of a camera and filmed. I don't know why, I just feel like it's been months, even though I posted a video last week. But anyway, I'm glad I'm back. I'm excited. I am on the journey of writing my brand new novel, which is a bit dark. It's dark academia vibes. It's set during 1964 in Atlanta, Georgia, and it's during the time a civil rights movement was going on. And the story is about this woman. She accidentally commits a crime and now she is trying to get away with it. But let me tell y'all, I really struggled to write this story. I know this is really weird, especially you watched my last video. I said that I was going to quit this book. I'm done with it. I'm not going to write a book unless I'm 100% in love with it. If I'm not 100% in love with it, I'm trashing it. It's gone. But at the same time, I just took a few days to think to myself, how do I know if the book is going to be good or story idea is going to be good if I don't give it a chance? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You don't like it until you try it. So that's why I decided to just, calm down and take a step back from the story for a minute. And I came back and I was like, I haven't even gave the book a chance yet. What if it's good? What if I enjoy the characters? What if I love the plot? And what if I love the vibe of the story? You just never know unless you start writing it. I kind of not use a plot either, just to see if I could get better ideas as I'm writing, a better understanding of who my characters are without having a strict plot or already know what's going to happen in the story. But anyway, I'm going to stop talking right now and I'm going to make myself a cup of coffee. I haven't had coffee yet at all, which is a crime in itself. So with that being said, 1,243 words. For some reason lately I keep hitting around 1,300 when I write. I don't know why it's around the same number. I'm trying to get to 1,600 words a day or 2,000 words a day because I'm trying to borrow NaNoWriMo's method when it comes to writing a story. I think every time I write first draft of a story, I want to give myself 30 days so I can force myself to get it down without overthinking it, without trying to be perfectionist, and just trying to ignore the inner critic most of all. And that's one of the things I learned about the two writers when I did their routine, is that they're focused on just getting it down as fast as they can. They're not really thinking about, oh, is it perfect? Is it good enough? Is it publish worthy? No, they're just trying to get that stuff down. Anyway, but even though I got a lot of words done, I am disappointed because I feel like I'm just prolonging, if that makes sense. I'm dragging out descriptions too long, and I'm dragging out characters' conversations, which the conversations are important or good, but I feel like they could be shortened. And I think it's because I am afraid to write a bold scene. And what I'm trying to say is a dark academia, and it's set during an era where, like I said before, civil rights movements happening. And of course, the story is going to touch on dark, sensitive topics. And I think I'm just afraid to write it. And not just because I'm afraid to write dark, sensitive stuff, because I usually don't see myself, usually don't write stuff like that. I usually just romance. I never really wrote anything dark like this. Maybe I'm scared or hesitant to write it because I'm concerned about is the historical part. And y'all know there's a lot of history buffs out there and people that actually have a job or a career that's in history. They know historical facts. That's their job. And I don't want to be historically inaccurate because I have watched stuff and read stuff that is historically a little inaccurate, and it does bother you a little bit. You're like, I just don't think they would do that if it actually was in that era. It is a pet peeve. It is annoying and maybe a turn off to a lot of readers. And I'm just really worried. The problem is I don't want to slow myself down from the process of getting this book done, because I feel like if I stop and research and take notes and all this stuff, I feel like I've slowed myself down and then forget my train of thought and then lose the creativity and the story I'm trying to tell. So right now with the first draft, I'm going to hold off on doing a lot of research and just focus on getting the story down. Just really using the knowledge I got from high school and college of history. Just try to remember everything I learned for those classes and try to put it within the story best I can. And from the historical dramas and movies and books and TV shows I have watched, and just try to use that to my best ability. And I feel like I'm doing pretty good with the dialogue because I do watch old stuff. Even though the oldest TV shows, black dramas I watched is from the 1970s. I watched Sanford and Son, The Jeffersons, and sometimes Good Times. I'm not really a fan of that, but I try to take away some of that, but also I can't really fully because it's not set in the same era, but it's in the 70s. So right now with the first draft, I'm just going to write as best as I can with just using the characters, just using the knowledge I got from high school and college to write this story. But when I come to the second draft, I am going to do historical research, and I am going to do some research for it and make sure that it's historically accurate. Third draft especially, I'm going to make sure that it's historically accurate. Maybe get in contact with a professor or someone. I don't know if I could reach out to some people and ask for their advice and tips on it. I know I was watching Abby Emmons and she was writing her book or second book. She did reach out to the pilots and ask them questions on, I forgot the name of that website, but she said that's how she got the information she needed for her book. So maybe I could do the same thing. And I know this part I want to do for the book is going to be quite tricky, but I do want the subplot to be romance too. I know that sounds crazy, but I do want the main character to have someone's shoulder she can lean on when she's going through this tough time where she doesn't know what's going to happen to her next. She's constantly looking over her shoulder and she's freaking out because this crime she committed. But I don't want it to overwhelm the story and take away the main plot or theme from the story, if that makes sense. So I'm trying to find the perfect balance of how that could work, but I don't know how that's going to work. But anyway, I think I'm done writing for right now. I was in a groove, y'all. I really was getting stuff down. I feel like I was so productive. Honestly, I might keep writing for one more sprint. I did 3 sprints. I usually do 3. And I'm thinking I might do one more sprint. And then I was just going to call it for the day.
Baby, you give me
this morning at around 7:30 a.m. I swear Anna Hong's writing routine is rubbing off on me because I just woke up this morning in the mood to write. I just want to be at my computer and just start writing. And I didn't really do most of my morning routine except, brush my teeth and all that stuff, of course. But I went straight to the laptop, made my coffee, and I just started writing because I was just in the mood for it. And I got 1,636 words. Kind of. Let me explain. So some of those words I've written today and some of those words I've written a few days ago because I had this thing where I have the scene bank, and sometimes, like I told you, sometimes I don't write linear. Sometimes I write the scenes I'm in the mood for. Sometimes the scenes that interest me or been stuck in my head for a while, or the scenes that maybe even made me even want to start writing the story in the first place. But I just pulled one of those scenes from my bank and inserted it into this chapter. And the scene is very emotional. It's an argument between the main female protagonist, which her name is Sunday. I decided to name her Sunday, but the argument between her mother and her is supposed to be a very intense, emotional argument. I wasn't sure if I should put it here or later in the story, but I decided to put it earlier, and I had to go and revise some of it. I wrote a moment leading up to that argument, and then I decided to revise that scene. I know I wrote the number one rule published authors always tell aspiring writers not to do, and it's edit and revise a scene, because you should be focusing on just getting stuff down and writing as you go. But it really bothered me to just let it sit there like that because the scene has some areas in it that needed to be fixed, and I was like, it was just gonna bother me if I leave it like that. So I just went in there and I had to fix it. And also, I did take Anna Hong's advice of using placeholders. I decided to insert placeholders in scenes and moments where I couldn't think of what to do next. I try to write as much as I can, but when I'm really stuck, I just put a placeholder, like a note for me when I come to second draft, to come back and do that later. But besides all that, I feel like it was a really good productive writing session. I did 2 sprints, and honestly, I wanted to spend most of my morning just writing, but I need to get ready for the day, y'all. I'm literally still in my pajamas. I'm still in my pajamas. The only thing I got on different is a sweatshirt. I'm still in my pajamas, and I haven't really finished getting ready for my day. And honestly, I just want to sit. I'm in this mood, y'all, where I just want to sit at my desk all day and just write. But at the same time, though, I feel like I need to get ready for the day. Of course, I can't stay in this forever, my pajamas all day, because I just feel like a bum, couch potato, a bum if I don't get out of my pajamas. And I was going to leave the house, go to the library, but I just don't want to leave and go anywhere. When I have the free time and I just don't want to go places, so I just want to stay at home. And sometimes, I got to be real, sometimes I do feel guilty for not wanting to leave my house, because I feel like society favors people who are extroverts and people that like to be outgoing, active, and do things. But I try to say I don't ever leave my house, but I just like being in the comfort of my home. I love being at my desk with a cozy sweater on or sweatshirt. I love just having a cup of coffee next to me when I write. I just love being inside. I love being at home. That's why I'm a homebody. I do think I should step away for a minute to let my brain just give my chance for my brain to recharge, and then so I can come back more with creative ideas. But I definitely want to come back today. It's either going to be at the library or it's going to be at the house. I don't know which one, wherever I'm in the mood for.
Me wind and rain, you're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, well, I don't wanna jinx it, baby.
Matter how much you prepare and how many character arcs you write down and how many maps you build and languages you build, that first draft is still gonna kick your butt. It should, okay? It's the hard part. And then you get to go in and make it beautiful.
Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh,
such a good day. I'm enjoying being outside. I told myself this spring season I was going to spend more time outside and try my best to stay off TikTok and stay off social media for a minute. But I had to say, it is a bit hard. I'm still doom scrolling, which is a habit that I'm trying to break. But I am doing that habit and that goal I want to do this spring season is just be more outside as much as I can. And also reading a good book. I want to read more books because I don't think I read enough, and I feel like that's what's stunting my growth as a writer, because I think one of the many mistakes us writers make is that we're not reading enough. That's one thing I learned from Stephen King and Anna Hong. Writers need to read as much as they write, and unfortunately, I think I doom scroll more than I actually read. I'm trying to just make this new habit every day. Read for the minimum at least 10 minutes, the most 30 minutes a day. I have a goal to read at least 1 to 2 books a month, but I'm just gonna focus on reading books that I actually love. But of course, I do want to expand my reading into other genres. But anyway, I want to get back to do a little few more minutes of reading, and then I'm just gonna call it for today. I'm just gonna be so honest. I am a little bit concerned with this brown sugar shaken espresso. Like, sometimes I love going here because I love that my town has a Starbucks, but at the same time though, it's a little bit iffy sometimes. I'm like, ooh, are y'all gonna get it right today? But anyway, they're so sweet. I love the workers there. They're really sweet. But anyway, I got a brown sugar shaken espresso, one of my favorites. The color ratio obviously needs to be stirred. I'm going to put it in here. Y'all, I know I should have just asked them to put it in there, but I was just kind of nervous to do that. But I don't know. I was just very nervous to do that. I always get nervous to ask them to put it in my personal cup because I'm scared they're going to say no, especially in this Starbucks. But anyway, I haven't had a brown sugar shaken espresso since Sunday, and for me, that's a long time. Cheers. It's okay. Honestly, not that bad. It's really not that bad. I would have wished they really did put the extra shot of espresso in here. I feel like it needs more coffee. It obviously feels like it's just more milk than coffee. Whew. But anyway, I'm gonna pour it in here. Today, I want to go to the library and do some writing. Y'all, this morning, I woke up with a really nasty headache. I don't know where it came from. I just had a really bad headache this morning, and I had fatigue, and I was like, should I even bother filming if I'm feeling this way right now? But I was like, I really want to finish this vlog. I am committed. I'm trying to post a lot more often on YouTube. If you notice, I post more YouTube shorts, and some weeks I post 2 long videos because I feel like in the past, I really wasn't posting enough. But anyway, I want to go to the library and do some writing. Now let me tell y'all, if you ever watched my last video, I did say the library here is very small. They don't have like a private study room for you to sit in. You're basically just sitting out in the open. But I did find a little corner that I love, and every time I go, I just pray to God that no one's sitting in it. I really want to get to 1,600 words today, and hopefully I can do that. I want to maybe try to push it 2,000. I don't know how long I'm gonna stay in there. Maybe 3 writing sprints. It just depends. Hopefully my headache does not come back, but we're just gonna see how it goes. Let me tell y'all, for some reason, the whole day, I've been struggling with the headache going off and on again. Right now, I'm okay, but at the library, y'all, I had a really bad headache, and I just thought that I wasn't be able to stay there long, but thankfully, the headache went away, and I had a really productive writing session. I was really shocked. Instead of doing 2 to 3 writing sprints, y'all, I decided to stay for at least 4, and I am so happy with myself, y'all. I got 1,715 words down. Now, I told y'all I'm trying to do the NaNoWriMo method where you get around 1,600 words. But let me just tell y'all, writing without an outline, without a plan, it feels a little bit scary going in there, but it makes me want to write a little faster. I don't know why. It makes me just want to write as much as I can, as fast as I can. Just get the thoughts down while they're coming to me. And that's what I was doing today. Like, you know how you think of a scene and you see it as a movie trailer, you just see it as a movie playing out? And that's the way I saw one scene, and I was just trying to write as fast as I could before it goes away. And also, I love that I never know what's going to happen next. And if I feel like this plot is getting a little bit boring, because there was some moments, y'all, I do feel like it was getting a little bit dull. No, the one problem is without writing without an outline or without a plan is that sometimes scenes accidentally drag on too long. I don't know if y'all remember, but I said yesterday, I think, that there was an argument scene that was supposed to happen before a major plot point was to occur. And I feel like the scene went on a little bit too long. I just feel like I'm taking too long to get to the main plot point. And I had to put a placeholder. Also, when writing, you don't know when to end the chapters. I try to tell myself, you know what, let's just end it at 3,000 words maybe. And then sometimes I feel like maybe it could be a little longer. It's like 5,000 words. Sometimes I don't know the perfect amount or how the perfect length of a chapter should be and when to end it. I just had to take a guess or just get a vibe or feeling like, you know what, maybe I should end it right here. So that's another thing. And also, I feel like my antagonist is another problem too. I'm just not showing him enough. And I don't know if I'm just scared to write an antagonist or feel like I'm going to do a terrible job. I feel like the reason why I haven't wrote him or put more of him in the book is because I feel like I'm going to do a terrible job writing his character, because you don't want your antagonist to be cringy or cliche. I'm evil just because I can evil. You know what I mean? I want him to have internal conflict just like the protagonist does. I want him to have a motivation or the reason why he does the things he does. But I'm trying to figure it out. I'm learning how to figure it out as I write. Would I ever want to keep doing this with my other books, other future stories? So far, I wouldn't mind it. I would not, honestly, weirdly enough, I would not mind just going into a story blindly from now on, just adopting the full-on pantser identity and just running into a story full-on. I feel like it would be something I would want to explore with other story ideas. But I don't know. I enjoy writing when I'm not trying to build an outline first, because I just feel like it takes away the spontaneous creativity when you just sit and do an outline. I'm excited for this story, but I can't write it because I first have to get an outline and make a character profile, which that helps a lot of people. But I just feel like for me, I'm excited. I want to get started on the story now, and I don't want to like wait till all my ideas are gone. I just want to figure it out as I go. And I feel like doing this challenge helped me realize that I am more pantser than plotter, and maybe I'm just a full-on pantser. But anyway, y'all, that is it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed today's video. Let me know in the comments below what are your thoughts on this and what other videos you suggest I should do. I know I have not been replying or looking at my comments for a while. I need to get better at replying to comments, and I'm going to try to be on top of it for now on. So please don't hesitate to put your comments, thoughts all down below. And please subscribe, let YouTube know that you love videos like this if you're not subscribed, and give this video a thumbs up too. And also, I just want to say this too, if you are planning on, you want to write a story this year, you haven't started on it yet, but you keep telling yourself that you are and you haven't done it yet, just grab my little guide in the description below. I just feel like everybody needs a push or some ideas or a little start to help them get going. Sometimes you just need a little push, a small little action to get the ball rolling and get some momentum. So check out the link in the description below to grab your freebie. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye.